Alright, here we are. You might as well make yourself comfortable. We'll stay here until morning.
I don't suppose there's anything to eat in these cabinets.
Somehow I doubt it.
You never told me, you know?
Told you what?
About your past. And don't tell me you don't know, because I know that's not true.
Jesse.
This may be your last chance to tell anyone. And we're gonna be here for a few hours, so we might as well talk about it. Don't you want to get it off your chest, Will?
You're right. Okay. I led Jesse over to the corner of the room, and we both sat down on the floor. It happened about a year ago. I had just lost my job. My wife was working, and so I spent the time at home taking care of our 8-year-old son, Jason. Every morning I'd get up, drive Jason to school, and come home and work on a new painting I hoped to sell at a local gallery, where we needed the money. Well, one morning, about an hour after I dropped Jason off, the school called and told me to come pick him up because something happened.
What was it?
My son had recently been diagnosed with asthma. One day, he had a bad attack in gym class and they wanted me to pick him up. So I brought him home. Okay, Jason, why don't you go rest in your room while Daddy gets some work done?
Okay.
I should check on Jason and pick up his prescription before getting back to painting.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, Jace. Do you have any homework tonight?
No. Teacher says I'm the funniest kid in class.
Really?
Yeah, I told her a knock-knock joke, and when she laughed, milk squirted out of her nose.
Well, if milk really squirted out of her nose, then it must have been hilarious.
You're coming to my play Saturday, right, Dad?
I wouldn't miss it for the world, Jason. How are you feeling? Any better from earlier?
A little better. Are you mad at me, Dad?
Of course not, Jason. Why would I be?
Eric says I'm not like the other boys because I can't play tag with them.
Well, you just ignore Eric then, Jason. You're no different from anyone else. What you doing?
Drawing mazes?
Mazes, huh? Do you ever have any trouble finding your way out of them?
No. I know a secret.
What's the secret?
Always stay glued to one of the walls. That way, no matter what, you'll always find your way out.
That's very clever, son.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too, Jason.
When's Mommy coming home?
After work, champ. In a few hours. Daddy has to go and work again while you play in here, okay?
Okay.
It's really coming down. I don't want to drive out in this weather. I'll pick up Jason's prescription tomorrow. And now to finish my painting. Time to finish. I put on my headphones, picked up my palette, and started to paint. 1 hour later. Done. Not too shabby either. Now I just need to. Then I heard running in the distance. I turned to find Jason standing behind me, eyes wide with guilt.
Damn it, Jason! How many times have I told you not to play with that ball in the house?
I'm sorry, Dad.
You can't finish gym because of asthma, but you're able to run around in the house?
I said I'm sorry.
I don't want to hear it. I'm done with you. Go to your goddamn room, now!
I came to regret those words. Far too late. I went over to assess the damage. Not as bad as I'd feared. And so I picked up the headphones, put them on to drown out Jason's distant sobs, and returned to work. 30 minutes later, I felt bad for how hard I'd been on Jason, so I decided to go apologize. Jason, I want to apologize for earlier. I lost my temper, but I shouldn't have. Jason? Jason! He must have worked himself up crying from what I said to him. I hadn't picked up the refill for his prescription inhaler, and it was my fault. He died. I started drinking then. Christine left me shortly after. She said she couldn't look at me without seeing Jason. And I don't blame her. I let everyone down, and my son died because of it. I'm the lousiest fucking parent in the world.
It was a mistake, Will. It could have happened to anyone.
That doesn't change the fact that it happened, though, does it? I'm going to go keep watch outside for Grayson. If you hear me shout, lock the door and hide.
Will?
Jesse, I need to be alone for a while. I'll be back soon. Without another word, I stepped outside, desperate to be alone. I looked down the hall. Grayson was nowhere to be found. Bracing myself for a long wait, I thought over my conversation with Jesse and felt sadness. When Jason passed away, I had never mourned. I just fell into a quiet depression. I had never come to terms with what happened, but I couldn't run from it. Not anymore. I won't have another death on my conscience. I'm going to stop Grayson to make sure Jesse stays safe. Suddenly, I heard a gunshot inside the medical ward. Jesse! What happened?
Someone tried to come in through the vent.
Did you see who it was? Was it Grayson?
I don't know. I just saw movement and shot at it. I must have scared him away. Here, take the gun. I'm never touching that thing again.
I want you to go. Run to that hiding spot you mentioned. Stay there and don't come out for anything until I come find you. I'll go after Grayson.
Be careful!
This has to end. I have to find Grayson and kill him before he manages to hurt Jesse. So, I guess this is it.
Looks that way.
Jesse survived, Grayson, but you won't. Not while Grayson is here. Oh my God, what did I just do? I had to, right? It was him or me. I had no choice. Oh, I feel sick. The list of suspects keeps narrowing. There was no way. Rotting. The steel bars are gone. Grayson must have removed them before finding Jesse and me. This is my chance. Just as I moved to open the front doors, I hesitated. I decided to remain in the prison a few moments longer. I had spent more than enough time surrounded by death. It was time to go home. The doors opened, and I stepped outside to take my first breath of freedom. I did it. I was free. I lost consciousness, my last waking thought was that the killer must be Jesse Bartlett. Occam's razor states that the simplest explanation is often the right one, and Jessie was the only one still alive. She was the one who coaxed a confession out of me, and she's been trying to gain my sympathy this entire time. She lied to Grayson about her whereabouts earlier, and she's probably been lying about everything else since. It had to be Jessie. No one else made sense. With that final thought, all fell to blackness.
Wake up, Will. Wake up.
Oh, Sonny?
It was a simple matter to fake my own death on the rooftop. You know how I did it?
You used the body of another victim, didn't you?
Good guess, but no. I used a mannequin from the medical ward. Dressed it in the same clothes we're all wearing and threw it off the roof after I disappeared from your line of sight. And do you know what I used to complete the effect?
Blood from a paint can. I found it in the refrigerator.
Animal blood. Yeah. I'm sure you found the cat it once belonged to in the freezer. Just covered a mannequin in the blood and the rest is history. And thanks to the fence blocking the dummy, you had no way of inspecting it up close. Killing the others proved easy. Just as easy as it was to manipulate you into killing Grayson. Now, I'm sure you've read all about the shady experiments that were performed down here. Prisoners would be strapped down, just like you are now, and used as test subjects to pay for their crimes. All at the whim of the prison's warden, John Duvall, my great-great-grandfather. Yes, Will, I am his descendant, and I've dedicated my life to continuing his noble work. Did you know that Duvall even held his own son, Daniel, accountable for his sins? It was justice in its purest form. Unfortunately, it somehow got out what Duvall was doing, and the prison was shut down. Duvall himself forced to step aside. A travesty, one that necessitated a name change for my family. But who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that the experiments would live on with the two of us? Did you know that there are drugs that can actually simulate the effects of an asthma attack? Well, I guess you're about to find out. You've committed a crime, William Thane. The crime of killing your own son. And now it's time for justice to prevail. But who can perform surgery without clean hands? This'll just take a minute, Will. I'll be right with you as soon as I prep.
I couldn't reach. I was strapped down to the table. The leather restraint was both tight and secure. There was no way I could break free with my hand alone. Okay, I was holding the scalpel. Now what? various medical instruments. That was exactly what... Just as I finished cutting the restraint, Sonny moved over to a surgical tray on a counter in the back of the room. I didn't have much time. The leather restraint was both tight and secure. There was no time. Sonny was almost done prepping, and he... Okay, I was holding the scalpel. Now what? Oh! There was no time. Sonny was almost done prepping, and he would definitely see me before I finished cutting the remaining restraints. There was no time. Sonny was almost done prepping. With the blinding light shining down on me, I had to squint to see.
Oh, come on! Not another one! Damn power surges. How am I supposed to conduct surgery with no light? Sit tight, Will. I'll be right back.
Once I was sure Sonny had left the room, I cut the remaining restraints. I stood up from the table, thankful to have bought myself a little time. Armed with a weapon, I waited for Sonny to return.
Will? Good news! Found another bottle for the...
Oh, it's tempting, but no. This motherfucker doesn't get the easy way out. He's going to pay for what he's done. I put down the bat and searched Sonny's unconscious form. In his right coat pocket, I found a working cell phone.
A few moments later.
Not wasting any time, I called the police.
911, what's your emergency?
I'm trapped inside Stonewall Penitentiary. Someone is trying to kill me. People are dead. Help! Minutes later, the police arrived. Already familiar with Sonny's MO, they wasted no time cuffing him and taking him away. Later that night,
I'm standing here outside Stonewall Penitentiary, a facility that has been abandoned for nearly 40 years. Last night, a man named Sonny Payton kidnapped and killed several people inside of the prison. Standing beside me are two survivors, William Thane and Jesse Bartlett. William, anything to say?
at least justice was served. Police caught the man responsible.
Indeed they did. According to sources, he is currently in custody. And how about you, Jesse? Any thoughts?
Will saved my life. Everyone should know he's a hero.
Hero indeed. This marks the 5th in a series of similar mass murders that have occurred over the past several months. And now, hopefully, it will be the last, thanks to you, William. I just have one final question to ask you. After everything that's happened, are you happy to be alive?
Yes, Maggie. Yes, I am.
I bet you could use a drink after all this.
No, Maggie. No drinks for me. Not anymore.
And there you have it. This is Maggie Kettlebrook, signing off.
Do you want me to read you a story? Here, this one's your favorite. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far from home, lived a little pixie. All her little life, the little pixie wanted nothing more than to go on one big adventure.